What's up, everyone? This is the Fraser LeVay podcast with Uncle Blaiso. As usual, we're talking November 11th. Sorry, I said a baby. I don't know where I am. Week 11, NFL, and the week that was in sports. We'll talk everything NFL, Canada, some quick little hits on some Canadian basketball players that Blaze won't care about, but I'm going to tell him. And
Likely.
a whole bunch of good stuff. But before we get into that, have you watched Yellowstone? Because if you haven't, I think you might be out. So,
dude,
if there was ever, Blaze already had half a foot out, and we haven't talked about this yet. He had half a foot out, and then the start of episode 2, I was like, oh no, I was disgusted. I was like, oh, Blaze is never gonna. What episode 3 they're gonna start killing dogs? I think. So,
yeah, it's like this son of a bitch knew me and was like, how can I chase this guy away? A, let's get rid of John Dutton, and then B, fucking rattlesnakes everywhere.
Awake on the chest. Awake on the chest.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you turned it off.
Yeah, when she like was lying there and was like rattlesnake, and I'm like, oh fuck, are you kidding me? Like there's actually one in her sleeping bag because like, she was frozen, so I'm like, oh my god, there's one there. Yeah. I just looked at it for like 5 minutes. I didn't watch anything. I'm just like, I just kept half-ass listening until like somebody else was talking that wasn't around snakes. And at one point I heard Rip say to the fucking, was it the cook?
Yeah.
To old Gator, he's like, you put us on a rattlesnake den, and I'm just like, what? I'm never watching this show again. I'm so annoyed. Why do they do this to us?
I don't know.
It's torture. It's torture. And of course, but you have to watch it. I'm like, well, I gotta watch it. Now that's over. It can't get any fucking worse than that.
Yeah.
Can it? But no. Now Jamie is just like gone full absolute, even more of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, dude, that was, I'm like, no way, because I actually, after you told me to go back, so I went and I watched the rest of the first episode, and I'm like, all right, I can live with this, I guess. Like, you got to see what happens now, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they start out like that. I was like, fuck, come on.
Yeah. If episode 3 they end up just shooting dogs randomly or doing
right? Like,
it'll be all over.
You're gonna start just by somebody running over a dog on purpose or something, and I'm just gonna lose my ever loving mind. That'll be the final straw. I thought, like, I'm really close now, but I mean, it's part of the show, so I guess I have to pay attention. But god damn it.
Oh, that's good stuff. I think I forgot about it because I was disgusted watching. Yeah. And then last night when I was up with the baby at 2 a.m., I started laughing. I was like, oh my god, I need to write this down for the podcast.
Boy, yeah. So I'm guessing it was just right up on her.
Yeah, it's on her chest. So disturbing.
That's a fucking thing.
I don't know. I hope not.
Well,
I don't want to think about it.
Like, if that's the case, like,
yeah.
There's already a whole bunch of places crossed off my list. Yeah. I mean, I've been to Texas 4 times, but it was in Dallas. I didn't see any rattlesnakes. I was okay.
Yeah,
so
I think you're okay.
But yeah, out in the middle of nowhere like that, no, that's not happening.
No. I couldn't imagine like the 18, whatever the other episode is for Yellowstone, like 1876, where they're settling across like Texas and Oklahoma and stuff. That sounds miserable.
Yeah, that show's awesome though.
Yeah,
1893 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that one's awesome.
It is, but that seemed like a miserable way to live.
Did you watch it? Yeah. Did you watch that whole season though? So when he's having the duel on the ship with the little nerd.
Yeah.
And he finally just has enough. Just yards him overboard.
Yeah.
I literally laughed out loud when I saw that. And I must have watched it 10 times. I just had to, the episode ended, I had to go back and rewind it, and I watch it over and over again, and I literally laugh every time I see it. Like, he basically takes us, it's like, boom, and the dad is just like, oh no, like my hair. God, it made me howl. Like, I cannot stop laughing when I think of that scene. Yeah. It's so good.
Sorry, and I was thinking of the other one when that was a miserable way to live. The ones where they're settling across the plains.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, that's so the one I like is 1923 then.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I forget that, but yeah.
The dude who's good. Like the hunter, he's the hunter, and then he meets the girl, and they come back, and they're
they're both great.
Yeah, they're fantastic characters. But yeah, when he
Yeah.
throws that dude overboard, fuck, I just absolutely howled. I literally out loud laughing. It was great.
It was. That one kind of ended shittily too. I need that one to pick up soon because that.
Yeah, it's got to come back. It's
Yeah.
got to come back.
Speaking of shitty things, the Cowboys game. There's just
Oh,
last night. We don't need to spend too much time on it, but I just wrote a lot of notes. Um, Nothing says like Cowboys or the Cowboys fans. Then there's like a 12-year-old boy with a bedazzled sign in the stands
yeah,
that his mom obviously made with his little sideways hat, and it says it's I'm on TV or it's my birthday. Put me on TV, and the camera had it on for 10 seconds, and he has it folded up and not paying attention. And it's just
yeah,
like it was your time to shine, little man, and
it is.
your little sign, and you're not even paying
Classic
attention.
Cowboys.
Yeah, it's just
Classic.
not paying attention to the game and nothing.
Yeah.
Just oh,
He's one of them boys.
he really is.
I
And
didn't
then
tell you this because I knew we were chatting today, but
yeah.
I had CJ Stroud and I was going against Joe Mixon. I had like a 20-point lead going into the
Oh
night.
no.
Yeah. And
Uh,
whatever, my third league, don't
yeah.
care too much, but I was watching it and they're up 17 with like 5 minutes left. And I'm like, why the hell is Joe Mixon still in the game?
Yeah.
The guy gets hurt all the time. His game's over. And not only was he in the game, they touched it the whole way down the field. And I
I don't know what they're
losing
thinking.
on the last play. I lost. It's like
They don't want to rest him. I don't understand. Like
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
he's the
Tough loss.
third best player in the league right now, or at least running back. And just no resting him, just keep him going. And we needed him because our guy in our guillotine league, Keegan, he's got like a juggernaut of a team, and this was our chance to get him out, and now he's
So
run
that
the
actually
table.
actually did bring him alive. Oh
Yeah,
man,
he was done, and then he had to have a 40 point game from Mixon, and sure enough,
he did. Wow.
And then yeah, and then the Cowboys. What was it? 4 penalties on the Cowboys, one on Houston. Oh, my notes are all messed up. I don't understand this in the game.
Oh,
there was a fight.
thing.
Yeah, there's a fight in the game,
It's terrible.
and there's 4 penalties on one team, one on the other, offset. So I'm like, if you're a player and you want to fight, once you see 2 flags go up, just fuck it.
Go time.
Yeah,
It's go time. I've said this forever, and it's ridiculous because you can have a hold on one team and the other team gets a personal foul and it's offset. It's like, well, if you really didn't like someone on the team and you knew they jumped offside, why wouldn't you literally just punch them right in the neck?
Yeah.
Offsetting penalties, nothing to see here. It's ridiculous. How do you get 60 yards of penalties versus 15 and the ball doesn't move?
That's so dumb.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild.
That has to be the dumbest. That takes over as the dumbest rule in the NFL from the many that we've covered.
I don't know if the fumble into the end zone, like touchback thingy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan.
I don't understand how sometimes you can fumble forward and sometimes you can't. I just don't.
Yeah.
Right?
That is an odd one.
I'm like, wait, you can recover it now? I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah. No kidding.
Then say on the Cowboys game, the roof literally fell. The sky's falling in the Cowboys.
It is.
The roof fell.
It is.
And Jerry Jones gets all butthurt again. He's like, oh, there's no danger hazard. I'm like, dude, there's literally falling sheets of metal are falling from the sky. Of course there's a hazard. Yeah.
The league was like, no, that's a hazard. We're not playing until that's fixed.
Yeah. You got 1,000 of those pieces hanging above people.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
Is he senile now? Or is he getting there? Like,
I called him Biden at the start of the season.
Is he on the Biden path?
He is.
He's just going to be suddenly just standing, looking to walk off stage and having to get held and carried.
Exactly. And what else happened in that game? Oh, they haven't opened the roof there in 2 years. Isn't that weird?
Really? At all?
Yeah, they haven't played one game with the roof open in 2 years.
Is it always hot in Dallas?
No, like you would think at least a couple months where it's got to be perfect weather.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then I don't think I've ever seen. Did you watch it in the game? Yeah, there was that play with how many minutes left? 9 minutes left in the game where 98 of Houston just came through the middle and sacked Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
I've never seen a sack like that in my entire life. I was like, wait, what? You're just gonna let that guy just have a free run at your quarterback?
Right up the middle. Right up the middle. Like I've seen linebackers or safeties blitz right up the middle, but like the biggest dude on their team just straight up the middle. Just like shot out of a cannon.
I had the Manning cast on. Oh my god! For a game that meant nothing, Peyton Manning was losing his goddamn mind. He was every time Cooper Rush or anything was happening. was just so funny. Uh, and,
Unbelievable.
and then they had the
When we get there, I've got to remind me that one of my losers is from that game. Just
okay.
once we get
Was it also calling the fake punt throw over the middle? I've never seen a punter have to zip it in tight coverage
zip
before.
it. Yeah, I know. Hey, good play by Canadian boy John Mechie on that though.
Oh yeah,
That's who made the tackle.
oh nice.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, really, you're gonna make him throw over the middle? I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't
There's
think
like
they're
a wide
expecting
open
that
guy
guy
on the left, or
Yeah. I don't think they're expecting him to be there.
yeah. Oh, what a terrible game! And how terrible are the
So
Cowboys?
again, and we're gonna have to watch him probably 3 more times, I bet,
Yeah.
on prime time for sure. Thanksgiving, like,
Hmm.
God, I think. And aren't they playing the Giants?
Yeah, it's DeVito versus
Like,
Cooper Rush time.
there's gonna be so much beer consumed during that
Hmm.
game because
Yeah.
no one's paying attention and watching that
No.
unless you're gambling on it for some goofy reason.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be absolutely gunned. There's going to be overcooked turkeys. It's like the war at dinners all over America is going to be hilarious because everyone's going to be just absolutely rummed, and just politics will come up, and it's going to be a complete gong show.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
We got a buddy here, and his wife's American, so we always do American Thanksgiving at their place because she likes having it and doing the turkey and everything else like that. And we're always just gambling on next score or next play, like stuff that's kind of irrelevant, so it won't matter. But boy, that game is going to be a tough watch.
Yeah,
I'm gonna figure out a way to just bet on sacks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And turnovers.
Yes.
Yes.
Turnovers and sacks. And then on Manning cast, guess how many times the Manning brothers have been sacked? It's a record in their careers.
Oh,
It'd be impossible, yes, but just have it for fun.
I don't know. I was pretty good at guessing last week.
But yeah, it's true.
194.
714.
Oh, wow. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
They've been sacked 714 times.
How's that possible?
I don't know. And then Manning goes, well, I told you,
guess.
Eli. Manning goes, well, Eli, you hold on to the ball so goddamn long. Just not
Really?
missing the beat. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just puts it all on Eli.
Yeah. So good. So good.
Yeah. So it was a good
Who did
Manning
they have on
cast.
last night? I saw they had Bill.
JJ Watt at the end.
Okay. Yeah.
And they had that, I forget his name, but some shitty comedian who was boring. So like when they have 60% of the guests are awesome, and then 40% is just hard to watch because like they have no banter. But
yeah,
I like it most of the time.
Nice.
I was gonna pull up. I guess pull up on the notes here. Do you want to jump into some playoffs? NFL playoffs.
Yes. Playoff scenarios.
Let's see the playoff picture. We'll start in the AFC.
Yeah.
First round bye, Kansas City. See if that stays. Then we got the wild card game: Bills, Broncos, 2-7.
Yeah.
Steelers, Ravens. That'll be a good one.
Again. Oh yes.
Texans, Chargers.
Mm.
So who's on the outside looking in? Wild card standings. So we've got the Colts are looking in, the Dolphins looking in, the Bengals looking in.
Yeah.
No, let's just keep it how it is. I think, right?
Yeah, we don't. I mean, unless Cincinnati could get hot, because at least you have to say that their games are at least interesting.
Yeah.
And Burrow and Chase and T, like those guys, what they're doing is pretty impressive. But God, they're the shits. Their defense is so bad. And who it would be against Buffalo?
Yeah.
But I mean, it might be the over/under might be set at around 74, which is going to be great for.
It'd be a good thing to watch.
Yeah. So I'd be okay. I mean, they got to go on a hell of a run, but I'd be okay if the Bengals made it.
Over the Broncos. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Texans Chargers will be a great one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a nice first round. That's a nice first. That
really
is a nice slate. Yeah.
But even, I mean, if you sub out, you put the Bills where the Chiefs are and sub those two out, that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was simple. I thought we'd have like some discussion there, but it seems like aside from one team, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Look, can you believe
it drops off bad? There's a lot of junk after that.
Guess who is 1, 2, 3, 4 spots out of the playoffs? Two teams, one, obviously.
Yeah, Patriots, and it's like just give wins away. They should literally be in the hunt. Like it's
the Patriots and the Jets still are, just a couple spots out of the playoffs.
Jets, who just fired their GM today.
Yeah. Oh, let's get into. I mean, we'll stay on track, I guess. We'll loser. We have Jets losers every
Always,
time,
every week. Yeah, we can just lock that in. It's in ink.
It is an ink.
It's an ink. What do we got in the NFC?
NFC. Let's get over there. So we've got number one. Oh wow!
Yeah,
Shit, I just lost it. Playoff picture.
Lions.
The Lions, of course. Two Eagles. 2-7 matchup. It'll be Eagles Commanders.
Ew.
Then we go Cardinals Packers. Falcons Vikings. This is kind of all shit, to be
Oh
honest.
wow, good news for the Vikings. Yeah, you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
I thought that the other day. The Vikings are in a good spot because if they keep rolling, well, really them or the Packers is going to get that number two out of the NFC North, which will be
Mm-hmm.
the 5 seed, and they're
Yeah.
going to play the NFC South, which is dog piss Jones. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly I have more faith in Tampa putting up a fight in that game than anybody else. Atlanta's trash. Their
Garbage. Yeah.
defense is hot garbage. Like
So,
they'll have games where they're going to score, but their
mhm.
defense is bad.
Especially when your quarterback has 11 turnovers in 5 games, definitely that's not
Oh,
a
is that what he's
chance to
had
win.
lately?
Yeah.
Yes, your
You know,
boy
I've got it
Kirky.
already.
You got the ammo,
Yeah.
ready.
0 touchdowns past 2 games, 5 turnovers past two
Really?
games or
Oh
3 games.
wow,
Yeah. So
that
I've been
just
a good
can't
luck.
happen with the talent they have. That
It's
cannot
insane.
happen. I got
No.
the Moondog too on one of my fantasy teams, and yeah, he's been kind of a
Oh,
dud
yeah.
lately.
Uh, yeah, I would like. This is actually super exciting because, I mean, anyone I'm sure would enjoy the Bucks in, the Niners in, the Seahawks in, the Rams
Yeah.
in.
So right now the
Like,
Niners aren't even. Yeah, I guess not. Hey, not even in.
no. And the Cardinals schedule, oh my God, let me tell you the Cardinals. Like, I have no faith in the Cardinals, but they play the Seahawks, Vikings. Okay, that's a couple. Seahawks again,
Yeah.
Patriots, Panthers, Rams, 49ers. All right, for some reason I thought their
Okay.
schedule was easier. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Well, how about though the Niners? So they're 5-5 right now, and their next 2 games are Green Bay, Buffalo.
Yeah, they've got a rough
That's tough,
one.
and they're just not playing well.
No.
They cannot hold a lead. Like you always think about their great defense, and they can't.
Mm-hmm.
What did I hear? There's a stat I heard today. Since 2000, they're the first team ever to have like a 4 point lead in all of their division games and lose them all so far. Like in the
Yeah,
fourth quarter, they've had a 4 point lead against all 3 teams in their division. And they've lost all of them.
and you like to pile on Shanahan. He's got a terrible record for
Yeah,
one score games. Like one
yeah,
score games is one of the worst, which is
the
weird.
worst. And blowing leads, like nobody blows a lead like that guy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
is he
fine,
in that?
right? He's a
Yeah.
decent coach, but
Hmm. Yeah, a fun bet I like the Bucks to win the division. I think it was plus 500. I think now it's plus 400. So I think
yeah,
just as a good value.
absolutely, absolutely. You know what though? We need to get it. You need the Niners or another team to step up and get into that 7 hole because
Hmm.
like we just saw Eagles Commanders. That doesn't need to be a playoff game.
No.
I don't think. You know, the nice thing is the Eagles will play them again and they'll pump them. The commies have kind of come down to earth a little bit.
Hmm.
So you hope someone catches them, but the NFC West they just keep kind of cannibalizing each other.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Well,
hard to get 2 spots in when you're all just wailing on each other all the time.
yeah, and it's like the Cardinals haven't even played anyone. I mean, they've beat the Jets, they beat the Bears, they beat the Dolphins. Chargers
Yeah,
is a nice win. They barely beat the Niners by a point. I guess that's fair. But then they got hammered by the Commanders, beat by the Lions. They beat the Rams when they're all injured. So I mean, they haven't really
mm,
done anything amazing. So
yeah. I
I'm
got to
still
think
not
when it
buying
comes
them.
down to it, you just got to hope that 7 seed is the NFC West and not the commies.
Yeah,
Sorry, bud. No offense, but we
yeah,
don't need to see your team in the playoffs.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, um, yeah, it'll be good. So either the Niners, Seahawks, Rams, or even the Bucks. Oh, hopefully the Bucks just overtake the Falcons. So that'll be a good one.
Yeah, I don't think we can
Um,
rule that out. What are they? A game behind them? 2 games?
I think two now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because we
Atlanta's
got
trash. They're starting to show.
sure are. I mean, and then the Steelers Ravens. I can't believe the Steelers. I hedged it. Well, I know you don't like hedging, but I did a hedge. I had the Steelers 8-1 to win the division
Yeah,
at the start of the year, and then I hedged with the Baltimore like recently in a little parlay. But Steelers are
yeah,
still dominating. It's crazy.
they are 8-1. That'll be a nice one.
Yeah,
That's a nice
Uh,
little future. That's going to be like your Travis Hunter future.
yeah. The Travis Hunter is incredible. He needs to hold on. Although I wonder, did the Boise State running back? He had a great game too.
Gentry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but Hunter's. I mean, I
Yeah.
think he's pulling
Pick
away.
six, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, unless suddenly you get there and it's he's got 2,000 yards, then they're
Mm,
going to have to look at it. But other than that, I think you're all right.
yeah. Well, speaking of college football, we can get into that playoff picture. The
Oh yeah,
I, I'm
I
just
don't know
trying
how
to like
much
play.
changed though. Like, well,
Hmm.
BYU is gonna that was a bad loss for them.
Yeah,
That's gonna end up being Colorado, hey?
I think so. And at first, I
Yeah,
didn't want it to be, or I didn't want any Big 12 team in, and I'm a Big 12 person. But Colorado,
yeah,
just from a media circus, even if they're not good
yeah,
enough, I mean, that'll just be fun chaos. And the NCAA obviously loves money. That's why they keep, Penn State and Notre Dame in everyone's mouth all the time because they just, historic.
yeah.
Same thing. Colorado's just the new age,
They are for now.
free media. Well, yeah, as long as Dion's there,
Yeah,
free media, free PR.
but I don't think other than matchups, I don't think much really changed. I mean, the Georgia beating Tennessee was kind of big. It almost
Hmm.
it helps that conference because Tennessee is they're still going to be in.
Yeah,
That's their second loss, so they're probably still going to be a top 12. Georgia, if they lost that, Georgia would have been in trouble.
yeah.
And and right now, I shoot. If they get that Carson Beck, I think they can win it all. I think they're the
I'm
favorites to win it all.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So,
Yeah,
as you know from last week, I had three college football bets. Alabama is just purely from good value.
yeah,
Alabama to win 15-1, Jalen Milroe 15-1 Heisman, and then Travis Hunter 65-1 Heisman. Last week, I took Georgia 8-1 purely because I was like, when are you ever going to get Georgia 8-1 ever again, or like
yes,
the Chiefs 8-1, or Saban's
yeah,
Alabama 8-1? So I quickly put that down. So now I've got two SEC teams. And I'm very happy about it.
absolutely, yeah. And
Hmm.
those are two of the top four teams in the country.
Yeah,
So that's pretty good.
yeah.
That's solid.
I think there's going to be arguments. I mean, we know. Well, let's get into it. Indiana fans, I'm in their kitchen. I'm in their
Uh oh,
heads.
uh oh.
I had a TikTok post. I've had a couple TikTok posts. This one didn't go as viral. Do you know what viral means, Blaze, in TikTok?
A lot of
Oh,
people
sorry.
watch it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So I said Indiana's frauds, and sure enough, every IU football fan that hasn't talked about football in 20 years because they've never been good is,
Yeah,
oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. And like, it's there's been a couple nice guys where you can have a conversation, but most of them are just assholes, and they're just like they just get real personal. So
yeah,
then I fire back, of course, and now we've got good
yeah.
discourse. So now I'm hated man in Indiana, and it's kind of
I
nice.
love
Is
it.
what happened with and maybe you want to start even harder on the podcast and the website faneverland.com because
Yeah,
I made the Team USA is not going to win gold in the Olympics, and that went when like hundreds of thousands of people like I comments, hatred, say like
love it.
so nothing you think I don't know, like Drake bets $300 million or $300,000, people bet $1,000. Nothing gets you more invested than 200,000 Americans at your throat, and you either oh, what a rush. Like I was
Yeah,
shaking watching the United States games because it's like, oh, they almost lost to France, they almost lost to Serbia. And
yeah.
oh my God, was I going to go off on every I would have spent 2 days going after everyone.
You
Sure
get
enough.
some. You get some. You'd have been
Yeah.
like Oprah.
Oh yeah.
You get a chirp. You get a chirp. You get a chirp.
Yeah. Instead they all came back at me, so that kind of sucked. But I was like, I had playing with the
That's all
house
right.
money. But
Yeah,
yeah, nothing will get you more amped than going against an entire school or country to
yeah. And now you got Indiana.
now I've got Indiana, and they're just they're this that, and they're 11-point dogs. So I'm like, you guys are trash.
Yeah,
Oh, if we don't get blown out, we'll make the playoffs. What kind of reasoning is that? Oh, we don't get shit kicked by the third best, fourth best team in the country. You can make the playoffs. Come on.
it's sad but true though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if they get lose by 20, maybe they get bumped. But otherwise, I think they're going to be in.
Well, that's what I was looking at. I think they got to. It has to be a one score like close game, no backdoor covers, because
Yeah.
like they don't get in over a two loss SEC team like the main ones. And
No.
then Boise State has a better. They're a one loss, but they've got a better setup. Who have they played?
Yeah.
SMU as well. And then you're talking Texas A&M, a two-loss SEC team. I'm sure they may have another loss in there. Colorado, Kansas State. There's just so many one-loss teams and two-loss teams who have a much better setup than they do. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if they
I
keep
think
it
they're going to be
7
good shape, but
points, yeah,
I just don't know. When we saw that first projection
mm-hmm.
last week, and the one thing that popped to me was Alabama and Indiana, and first thing I thought was that's a waste of a playoff game.
That's what exactly it.
That's going to just be an absolute drubbing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe they'll prove us wrong, and then I pull for him because Curtis Rourke's there, but good Canadian kid. But I don't know. This is a whole step up from what they've been doing.
Exactly. So I guess we'll see what happens when they play this OSU game. But I don't think you can be a playoff contender when you're going into your biggest game and your only big game of the season as 12-point underdogs.
And your goal is to not get blown out too badly.
So that's
not a great look.
No,
that's not a great look.
No,
but Coach Sig, he'll have him going. He'll have him up.
Yeah. Apparently, I think that covers the playoffs. Oh, you never like this idea, but I want to go to tell friends to tell people who listen the fantasy football stock idea to combine with your friends. If you're out of the playoffs, you know what? I've done this with my friend Ryan years ago where one of us was out and we just bought stock on each other's teams. So now we're both playing. Yeah. We're talking to each other. Oh, who should we start? You know, I have to pay a premium if I bought stock on his team, let's say. So $100 buy-in, I gave him $50 for 25% of his team or 10% of his team, whatever it is. Now you're invested again. You're back in. So if you're watched out of the playoffs and no chance, just buy a little stock in your friend's team.
A little stock.
You can enjoy it together. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That might be us. Like if we get bumped out of this, being in this guillotine league is still sweet. I somehow survived. We both had a couple scares. Nice week last week though. What did you end up with? I had a big week.
Yeah, I think I was top in the. I've been like not. I'm not gonna even say because I don't want to jinx it, but I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, ever since your scare.
Yeah, I had the one tight scare. Now we've been all right.
Yeah.
And then watching the George Pickens, the Steelers Ravens game. I've had this idea for 20 years. It's called the ESPN KG channel. I'm sure we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Which is KG, Kevin Garnett, the ultimate trash talker, cursor, everything in the game. And it's just 18A. It can be pay-per-view. It can be password protected, whatever it is. But I want every player mic'd up, no bleeping, or not even mic'd up. Just we can listen to everything that's going on.
Right.
I want to hear the cursing. Like I would have spent $100 to have George Pickens just on a mic and see what was going on because he was in their grill fighting with everyone
the whole time. That game was like, I mean, it ended up being tight, but the first half, whenever I turned there, I didn't find it very entertaining. It was like bad play, sack, scrum, bad play, scrum, throwaway, penalty, scrum. Like, yeah, they hate each other, and that's pretty cool. But like the football really wasn't all that good.
Yeah,
and it got better. It looked like in the second half, but I think the game was overhyped a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it was good. It was good, entertaining. There was some fights, trash talk,
but like
old school defense.
The actual football is what I'm saying. It was not a good product.
And we've talked about this before, but the Ravens letting go of my mind's mush right now.
Oh, Patrick Queen.
Thank you.
That was sweet.
Yeah,
that was sweet. And he shoved it.
He was like, isn't he an all-pro? He's definitely a Pro Bowler at some point. Like,
he's really good.
How are you just going to let this guy walk when defense is your issue? Meanwhile, you're styling Deontay Johnson or trading away assets for him.
No doubt.
You have the MVP. You don't look at Mahomes. MVP, they give him, I mean, old man Travis Kelce. Aside from that, he's working with not much. Like, you should be pulling in. Yeah, it's true. Well, old Hopkins, but I mean, and cheap. They got him cheap, So it's like, get him some defense, not keep on adding offense. You don't need that.
Yeah. Oh, and their last year's first round pick was a receiver. Let's not say this guy's doesn't have any people around him.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that. Their O line's good. But yeah, I see to your point, Casey, they know that they're going to score regardless whenever they need to. So they've done a great job of building their defense up. Yeah. Monday or when do they play? Sunday night or Sunday afternoon? That was the first time in 30 games that they've given up at 28 points.
Jesus.
30 games, right? That's a stretch. Like, you want to talk. Like, the haters back in the day are always like, oh, Brady's carried by his defense, or when Manning, had that run in the Super Bowl, oh, he was carried by his defense. What the fuck's this guy been doing? He's been, he's getting carried by his defense as much as anybody right now, and no one says anything, of course. But
they're saying everything. The sky's falling. The media loves to be like, oh, the sky is falling. The sky. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, it's one loss. Relax. I'm always on the side. I know you're not as much, but like I like that loss. Just kind of now you're the extra underdogs in the next game. A little bit of dumb
Yeah.
pressures off, like perceived pressure, that kind of thing. So
I don't think you're the underdogs, but yeah, you're right. Now the pressure for the undefeated thing's off, and I think you're right. That's a good thing because
yeah,
that's got to wear on you as it goes along.
exactly, and having to answer questions, and yeah, so it's good. I like where they're at, but yeah, Denver Broncos owners, we gotta give them a quick shout out because every owner is a money grubbing douche, and yeah, they repatched the field. Have they done
Yeah,
3 seasons in a row now? So they put in
yeah,
millions of dollars, player
absolutely.
safety, to have a great playing service, which you think you would want anyways to see the best product.
You
No
would think.
injuries to your star players.
You would think.
So
Yeah,
shout
good
out
on them.
Broncos owners. I
I
like
like
that.
it. A lot of good stuff going on in Denver right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Bo
team looks
Nix, I
good.
mean,
Bo Nix is balling.
where do you
Yeah.
rank rookie quarterbacks? What's your chart?
Drake May by a long shot, number one.
Okay.
He and actually, obviously the results aren't there, but just when you watch them play, the kid is so good. He's so
Yeah.
good. He's going to be the best of those four, and it's actually not going to be close. In 3 years, we're
Ooh.
going to look at it, and it's not going to be close.
Ooh.
But I guess if you're going on so far this year, you got to say
Jaden.
Daniel's number one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put Caleb 4.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
you know, based on production, I think you go Nick's 2, and then May, and then Caleb. But as far as like having seen every play, yeah, and I've only seen those other guys in short bursts, but from what I've seen of Drake, he's gonna be better than all three of those guys. So
Yeah.
quite excited about that.
Yeah, I still can't get that scramble out of my head from 2 games ago where he just his footwork and getting through people, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
my god, he looked like Josh Allen, like
he does.
outrageous.
He's a smaller version. Actually, who was it the other day? A great comparison. Actually, more John Elway, which
Yeah,
is
your favorite player.
going a ways back. Yeah, before Tom, he was my favorite player ever. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if he has. I don't think anyone ever had the arm strength that Elway did. This is ridiculous, but it's pretty good. He can fire the rock. So, but yeah, Nix has been he's been doing everything they
Yeah.
asked of him. But
yeah,
it goes to show you when you go to the right spot and you got a good coach.
Mhm.
Sean Payton can coach offense,
yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
working there. Good for them.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a turning of the guard of older quarterbacks now, because before it never really worked out that well. Where Jaden and Nick seem to be doing all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah,
And
I wasn't a believer.
Caleb hasn't been great, but he played well. He played well on Sunday. He kind of did what he had to do. He had him in position to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tough game. Green Bay's got a pretty good defense. So I'm not saying that he's he's been horrible, but as the number one guy, I'd put him fourth right now.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, he's had 2 rough losses. So you've got the Hail Mary that should have been a win, and then the missed field goal. So he should have 2 more wins. Which me as an anti-Bears stock, I'm glad they weren't wins. But
yeah, right. Another feature you have that's looking good.
But they also had the Will Levis terrible throwaway game in week 1, so really they're just a 1-game variance.
Yeah.
But yeah, the speaking of losers like the Bears, the Jaguars, we talked about in this text, but so they say that if Doug Peterson loses this game, I don't know if this was an official leak or it was just made up leak, but it's like if the Jaguars lose the game, Doug Peterson's out. And I'm like, you guys are playing the Lions. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're losing the game.
Yeah.
That was the easiest pick on the board for anything Sunday. All the parlays, anything that I did on Sunday, by far the easiest one was Lions minus 13.5. I'm like, that one's happening. I couldn't pick that one fast enough.
It's insane. And so it's like, why even have him around for this game? Just get rid of him before the game.
And so have they fired him yet?
No, still not fired.
Yeah.
And he should have been fired many moons ago. But
yeah,
I mean, what's his record since? Because we've talked about this in earlier podcasts, like week 1, week 2, week 3.
Yeah.
What's his record since Thanksgiving last year? Like 2 wins?
Or maybe 3. How does he have this year? 2? I think it's 2.
Yeah, he has 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's almost a calendar year.
Yeah.
How's he not fired?
He should be gone. Yeah, he's not good. And I had something else on the Jaguars, but he's finished. Oh, I was going to say a great bet. Heard from Bill Simmons' podcast. Yeah. We need to start betting more like 25-point spreads, 30-point spreads.
Yeah, that was interesting for the one team that is going to hit every year.
Exactly.
It's so
Or
hard though, man. Like 25, it's so many points in the NFL. It's
Mhm.
just it's tough to put that down.
Well, I'd be interested too, like when like teams like them, teams like the Ravens, and who else would fall in that category? Who can just put up numbers on terrible teams, like can run the
Yeah,
ball. Maybe the Eagles against shitty teams.
Eagles against shit teams.
I'd be interested to see like how many times.
Like the Eagles next time they play the Cowboys,
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be that could
Yeah.
be a big one.
So that's something to keep an eye on out there, folks. On teams who can run the ball real well and just run it up,
Yeah,
bet that 25-point spread and get 8-1 odds, 6-1,
and that
seven to
are
one odds.
ruthless, and that are you need them to be ruthless.
Yeah,
That's the big
Detroit's
one.
definitely the king of that.
Yeah, Dan Campbell, he
Yeah,
loves it.
and not to explain the math, but I know people like Stace might need the math. So when it's 8-1, you only have to win one time out of 7 or 8 chances. So you can bet this bet
Well,
7 times and
six
just win
anyway.
one, not
Yeah,
6, whatever.
because you got to pay the
So
juice.
yeah,
Hey, speaking of,
so
no Stace again. Hey, what a surprise!
no Stace.
Jesus, he's useless.
Yeah. Oh, Stace. Um, oh, quick Canada basketball. We are on fire. I know you haven't paid attention. Shaden Sharp, Portland. He's got a few
Oh,
30-point games in a row. He's leading their team in scoring.
really?
Benedict Matherin in the Pacers land. He is absolutely crushing it. He's leading their offense in 30
Yeah,
point, 20-point games, like 10 straight 2010s, or not 10 straight 2010s, but 20-point games, 30-point games. He's on fire. And then Zach Edey down in Memphis.
Edie.
He's
Yeah.
putting up rebounds, points. He's playing good minutes. Shea's being Shea. Wiggins is not being great. He's being average Wiggins, but yeah, so we're
Yeah.
looking great out
Was
there.
Edie at the Olympics?
No, that's
Yeah,
what
what
we
happened
need
there?
to. So he had like some kind of injuries a little bit here and there, and that he didn't get
Yeah.
any playing time last time, and he just wanted to get ready for the NBA season.
Ah, okay.
So I could, but I mean, in 4 years, we're so short and tiny.
Yeah.
He's going to be huge. Like he'll be our
If he shows
second
up.
best player. He'll
Yeah.
definitely be there. This year was just
Yeah.
drafted, little injuries, that kind of stuff.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. He's going to be money, so that's exciting because he was at
Like it.
the other games, the World Championships the year before.
Okay. And how's the other? Remember that dude I showed you in high school that is like 7'6"
The
or
Florida
7'7"
kid.
that's playing down? Yeah.
I haven't paid attention to the Florida, but the season just started,
Yeah.
so I don't know how they're doing. They're 21st overall. I just randomly found it.
Yeah.
Player stats. I don't know if he's playing much at all, but
Soon.
what the hell is his last name?
I don't even remember. I just remember he was enormous and he was from Canada somewhere.
Okay, well,
I saw it on some prep thing.
A little check.
All right,
out.
yeah, good basketball talk. Yeah, awesome.
Good.
One of my other losers is actually basketball related. You're gonna love it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Are we there now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. That's actually winners. Sorry, winners is just like average golfers that don't have to feel bad about like shanking a tee shot anymore, because literally the biggest basketball player on the planet almost killed an entire crowd. Did you see that?
Yeah, Caitlin Clark.
The
best.
That video was awesome. You said it. That's right. You said it to me right
Yeah.
over the whole gallery, and I'm like, oh, okay. If the biggest basketball player in the world can do that, then you know what? It's okay if I do it.
Yeah,
I don't even like golf, so actually I don't care. But I'm talking like the average golfer does that all the time. So
the biggest women's basketball player, the 20th, 50th most watched basketball player in the world.
The most popular basketball player for sure in North America.
That's completely false.
Then it's okay if everyone else does that.
Meanwhile, the WNBA loses $80 million a year, but somehow it's the most popular.
It does, except for her. Everyone knows her. Everyone knows her. Everyone loves her.
I also have a winner, Mike Williams. So he was like a scapegoat, which back at then it wasn't great to be Roger's scapegoat, but like now you're on the right side. So yeah, he ran the wrong route and didn't catch the ball, or he didn't run the route crispy enough, dropped the ball, and he gets blamed by Rodgers, kicked out of town, and now he's on the Steelers. It's like what a great little change of scenery. Like see you later.
And he got a touchdown last week.
Yeah. And he had the game winner.
Some sort of celebration. Yeah, he did some sort of celebration that I guess mocked the Jets a little bit. And then
I like it.
Rodgers was asked about it, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't see that. I'm not paying attention." It's like, motherfucker, you listen to everything that anyone ever says or does about you.
Yeah,
like everything. Don't tell us that you didn't see that. He's such a fraud. And I love it. we'll just make this up now. Once again, he's the loser. We'll add him to this segment. He's such a clown. I love that he's playing like a dog. It's so fantastic. Like
Yeah.
he runs his mouth. I don't know why. It must be a contract thing. Why McAfee keeps having him on the show? Because who wants to listen to the guy anymore? Like that's
Yeah.
literally the Tuesday's the one day of the week I don't listen to that show. It's
Huh.
just because I just don't like the guy's a scrub. I got no time to listen to what he has to say.
I'm
It's looking good
crossing
on
my
him.
crossing my fingers if listeners can't see that Rogers makes it onto Yellowstone next week.
Yes. If he's the one who kicks a dog, I will explode.
Yes. But yeah, so he's got coach fired, GM fired, brings in all his buddies, makes him trade assets for his
Yeah,
buddies, kicks out Mike Williams, did something else dumb, football related, can't win.
can't
It's
win.
not looking
It's
good for
fantastic.
Rogers.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm.
And by the way, he's got another year on his contract.
Ooh.
It would cost him like $30 million to get rid of him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he said he wants to play again. This is awesome. I'm loving it. Yes,
I,
I know. I love
uh,
it. Which also means they won't draft a quarterback, so they're going to be even
oh
further
yeah.
behind. This is awesome. They're dead
Ooh.
forever. The Jets have jetted, and they're going to
Yeah.
keep jetting. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this last week, but and they have to pay everyone. They have to pay Sauce. They have to pay
Yeah, Garrett
Mike and
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh. Um, Also, a random Mike Williams thing. I keep on thinking, like, forever. I've been like, oh, next year's year, like, as my breakout candidate. He's like, oh, he's still young. He's 30 years old. Doesn't it seem like he's like 26 and like, this is the year?
yeah. I guess though, when you think about it, it's been kind of a while. He toiled in San Diego forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
30. I
every
wouldn't have
year,
guessed that. I was maybe
right?
27, but yeah,
Mm.
30. Jesus. Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I
he's.
still remember, like, oh, yeah, this year he's got all the tools.
Hmm.
He's still young. And then when
Here
I was
we
doing it, it's
go.
like,
Here we go.
yeah. A person I want to kick out of fantasy football is Taysom Hill. It's just like, I guess it's
What?
nice because you roll the dice, but you either get 0 points for 16 weeks or you get 80 points for 2 weeks. It's just like so random. I just got crushed by a guy who had Taysom Hill, who hasn't had a point all week, all year, and then he gets 40, 50.
All right. So I purposely don't read this article until we are on the pod just because I like to be surprised by stuff. I'm scrolling now.
Yeah.
Do not tell me you have him as one of your losers.
I don't mean he's a loser. I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, it's just like he just comes in whenever he wants and just wrecks shit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's a quarterback, but you can play him as a tight end. It's
This guy
just,
should be deleted from fantasy football. See, this is what is the problem with, and I know like people don't probably realize that you're 40 because you still look like you could be delivering papers somewhere, but like you want to be part of the younger generation, and this is what's the problem with your generation is
oh,
like,
here
oh, I
we
don't want
go.
Taysom to be in fantasy football anymore
I
because he
don't
shouldn't be
actually
a tight
care.
end. Like, no,
This is
it's
he's
not Taysom's
ridiculous.
fault. He's an animal, and by the way, I'm sure you could have picked him up. And I
Oh
know
yeah,
in guillotine you could have because I looked at it on Sunday
he's there.
morning and I'm thinking, how long am I going to stick with this Evan Ingram guy? Because he's
Yeah.
like hasn't really done much. I wonder if I should drop him and just find. And I looked and I was like, oh, Taysom Hill's available. And I clicked it and I was like, I better not because, like you said,
Yeah.
sometimes he puts up a 0.
0.
And I'm like, what other tight ends are available? Oh, Jonnu Smith. Yeah, he's got 102 tutters. He sometimes just puts up zeros a bit than that. So I stayed with Evan Ingram. And I could have had
Yeah.
either one of those two. So no complaining about Taysom Hill. If you don't like it or don't like where he's positioned, get him on your
Yeah.
team then. Like,
Yeah, no. I mean, it's definitely is just funny how he's like can play
yeah,
this, can do that. Sometimes you want him. He's not actually a loser, but it's just
okay,
crazy.
good. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you had me there for a second. Like, what a warrior. I love Taysom Hill.
Yeah, no, he's great. I'm just like, oh my god. But yeah. So he's either boom or bust. I think I wrote it in the article. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just thought it. But it's
Yeah,
like it is kind of nice because you just got to roll the dice. Like you either
you
get
do.
0 or you get 50 this week.
You get 50, literally. I know. And then he'll
Yeah,
get picked up now in how many leagues?
yeah.
And deeper
Everywhere.
leagues, I mean, like our big one is 16 teams. He's
Yeah.
Terry's starting tight end. Who, by the way, yeah, I can't wait to get. We got to go back to that pick. That's the quick one I wanted you to remind me was the Cowboys. My loser. Can we do that now?
Yeah, yeah,
So I've told you the story of our 4-guy parlays where we all put in a pick, and if everyone gets it, but one guy he has to pay the whole bet, right? We all
hmm
chip in, but so he pays the whole thing. So Terry, who you know, he's been on fire, and he's I
hmm
think had like he was bragging that he was I think 8 straight he got right coming into the weekend, and he had a good Sunday. We won on Sunday. This dope picks what's his name? The quarter Cooper Rush.
Cooper?
Yeah, he picked under for his attempts as his prop, and I looked at him like, what?
Such a
Why?
weird thing to pick. You have a million things you can pick.
Everything,
You can pick
everything.
receiver yards, rushing
Yes,
yards.
yes, yes. So of course I take Mechie, good Canadian boy. It was like 16 and a half yards. He got it. He got 16 on the first catch, like the
Yeah.
third play of the game. So he went over eventually. Someone took CD, and someone took Mixon. Like stuff that you think, this will make sense. And he took Cooper Rush under attempts. It's like, hey, dopey, what did you think that their vaunted running game was going to just carry the day? They haven't run for 50 yards all year, and now you're deciding that their quarterback, who's going to have them behind all game, by the way. So he almost went over completions, what our prop bet was to be under for attempts. Like, it's the worst bet of the year by far.
Good job,
So
Terry.
he had to chew it by himself, which is fantastic. And it looked good because he was bragging about how hot he was coming in, and then just absolutely tanked us last night.
Nice.
And so we didn't lose, and I would have liked to win the parlay, but I didn't have to pay. So and he gets shout out for literally the worst pick of the season.
Nice.
By far, like the logic, and his his logic was, well,
Might get
I thought
benched?
I thought he might get benched. I'm like, okay, now you're putting our money in the brand of Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Fuck, what are we doing here? Like, enough. Just pick a goddamn one that's gonna cash. So yeah, worst pick of the year by far.
Imagine you start making bets on just thoughts people could get benched. Like,
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Right. Oh man, that volatile wide receiver is going to rip his helmet off sometime in the second quarter, and he won't play anymore. I'm taking his under. That's essentially what he did. I was like, oh,
Puka's going to punch someone this week, so I'm going to take his under.
Yeah. Our bet literally was that there was going to be a coach somewhere who's a buffoon to begin with, who's going to put in Trey Lance over our guy. Like that was our bet. Like, come on, man. Oh, it was awesome. He's just been getting worn out. He got worn out all last night, and
good.
It's obviously we have a chat for it, and he's getting crushed. So yeah, it's fantastic.
I like that. Terry. Not speaking of Terry, the Jameis Winston experience.
Oh yeah. True to form.
I don't have the numbers, but like the data, he has to lead the world in 400-yard games and losing, right?
Absolutely.
Like no one's close.
Yeah. The only shocking thing of that stat line: no ints, no interceptions.
So if I told you he had Nick Chubb at running back, threw for 395, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and lost 35-14.
Yeah, not close.
No,
That's tough.
Only when he can pull off these kind of incredible stat lines.
And you know what? In my picks, I picked him just cause I'm like, come on, just give us the when he come back game. I want to see it. It's the revenge game. But that one was over early.
Yeah, sure was. What else do we got? Oh, did you watch any of the fights?
I did not. No, I couldn't.
It's for the best. Yeah.
You can see that one coming. Like, come on.
I guess like if you got nothing going on, it's just kind of on TV, so you watch it. And thank God, like we do this every time there's one of these fights. This is a dumb fight, stupid. It says who we are as like a human race. Yeah, it's like just we stop for car crashes. We're just okay, sure. And it was free, thank God, on Netflix. But then Netflix, of course, as you know, just bombed it.
Crashed. Yeah,
it just crashes. Which thank God it happened now before Christmas Day playoffs.
Yeah, let's get that sorted out.
That'd be a riot. But how is Netflix going to up my charges, going to take away people who can watch on my account and have this happen? Like, come on. You guys are a giant company. How are you? How's this happen?
I know, giant. But I think we do have to get credit because from what I hear and from a lot of people that watched it, the women's fight apparently was outstanding.
I never watched that part. But yeah, I heard it was good.
Unbelievable. And they both got paid huge bank. So good for those ladies. They just beat the shit out of each other.
I always hated Jake Paul, and then I watched the documentary, and like I actually really like respect him. Like he acts a punk on TV, which like behind the scenes, I mean, he's just like, dude, this is an act. That's what people like. You know, he's not humble by any stretch of the imagination, but this guy has fought Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, and whoever else is like, how can you hate on this man? Like he literally went from nothing to getting in the ring with
I know.
the two greatest fighters ever. He's a millionaire beyond,
Wait, did
and
he fight
he's
Mayweather or was it his brother?
one of I think he did, but maybe it was his brother.
Okay, yeah, one of either way. Like
But
he said, they're unreal businessmen.
mm,
You gotta give him
and,
that.
and I guess his like dad just he's got some dad issues. Of his dad was a real prick and beat the shit out of him and stuff, and had a pretty
Oh,
rough
lovely.
upbringing. They're from like Ohio or just like middle of America, kind of lower
Yeah,
income.
yeah,
So it's
Midwest
cool. I
guys.
mean, they're definitely not. I thought they were just complete douchebags, and you kind of see behind the scenes they're just good businessmen, and they do stuff on TV and make fun of people and have a good time.
Yeah, good for them.
So yeah, and the brothers they love each other. It was really cool to see like his brother just have his back at all times, and
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, yeah,
I
it
like
was
that.
nice. But yeah, the fight was terrible. Can we outlaw we like Biden? Anyone over 70 shouldn't be in office, and anyone over
Yeah,
50 shouldn't be able to fight anyone. Like this is
no,
crazy.
no, not at all. Like, yeah,
T-
this at some point. I mean, and I think what happens is they prey on us. Everyone wanted to go back to their youth, right? Like, oh, I get to see
mm-hmm.
Iron Mike again because I saw Iron Mike when I was like a teenager, and it was the
Yeah,
craziest thing I've ever seen. Like the way he
yeah,
used to beat the hell out of people was unreal. So you get a bit nostalgic and you want to be like, hey, I want to. That's gonna happen again. Let's see it.
yeah.
And then he you know
He
stumbles
he
into the ring and
he
can't hit
looked
anyone.
older than 58 too. Because I mean, you're 58, and like you can still
Whoa!
move. You can.
Hey, not even
but,
close. Jesus.
but he looks like 70. Like he doesn't look like a good
Yeah,
58. He's on the wrong side of
the wrong
58. That's
side.
for
Yeah,
sure. He looks like a
tough. He's
grandpa.
hard living. Well, he probably is.
Yeah, he probably is. You're a great uncle, so it's basically the same.
That's true. Grunkle,
Or
I
your
like to call it.
uncle. Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet.
Uh, so that was a tough one to watch. The fight itself was shit. It was also nice on Paul because he took it easy on him. You could tell he didn't swing as hard right. He
Hmm.
didn't go for like the jugular. He just kind of jabbed, and he knew he was going to win the fight. No one wanted to see
Yeah.
Mike Tyson killed. So
No, no, not at all. Not at
no.
all.
And then the UFC fight was next, and
Oh,
I watched the last two,
yeah,
and Michael Chandler versus Oliveira. Chandler is just an older guy hustling. The last round, picked him up, backslammed him. He was losing by like he was done.
yeah.
Got up again, picked him up, backslammed him, and I was like, oh my god, that has to be the most. He's just fought 5 rounds or whatever it
I know.
is,
How does he do that?
and then he gets up and he basically was like he was drunk and he just like fell in Oliveira's arms. Like literally, it was like he just like cuddled. He's just like so tired,
I'm done.
just so exhausted.
I'm done. Yeah, good
And
for him.
good for Oliveira. I mean, he just kind of held him. Like he could have maybe done some crazy shit. He's like, all right,
Right.
this little puppy's spent. Come here, buddy.
Come here, little guy. Come here, little guy. I'll soothe you. Soothe
But
you
there
back to
can't
life.
be anything more tiring than a UFC fight. Just wrestling on the
No.
ground with someone. Oh my god.
Yeah. Not at all.
And then
That's why they're just such ridiculous shape.
yeah, and then finally, John Bones Jones.
Bones. What a
He
legend.
maybe my favorite fighter ever, but he
Yeah.
looks also the wrong side of 38. I mean, he's been through some years.
Well, he's been living.
He hasn't
He's
lived.
been his family has been last time we saw Chandler Jones, things weren't going so well, and yeah,
No.
they've been living. But I
Oh
have
my
to
god.
say, like if I even think about the highlights of that fight,
Hmm.
I feel it right here in the ribs.
Oh yeah, little spin
That
kick.
kick was the most
Oh
I just felt it again. Like it actually hurts just thinking about that.
yeah.
The spinning heel kick just flushed right in the ribs, and the guy
Oh.
absolutely buckled. I can't even imagine if that happened to you. Like you'd
Oh.
be folded in
Die.
half. Like
You'd
yeah,
fly
probably.
backwards like a Looney Tunes character.
You would 100%, 100%. Like I can't even fathom how much that hurt.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't a glancing. Like he didn't, like
Mhm.
sometimes even the punch, the hand keeps going, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if you catch someone flush your hand, it was like
Yeah. Stop.
his heel was just embedded in the guy's
It was.
rib cage. Oh, and then to see him buckle like that like it hurts me thinking about it. It's
Yeah. And good on Bones too. You kind of saw it, like he went in for the kill,
Yeah.
but you could tell he wasn't like and just attacked him. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, this
like,
guy's dead. I'll
this
give him some
guy's
shots.
it's over. Yeah,
Yeah.
this shit's over.
Yeah, but he looked like homeless. He looked overweight, which I guess he had to put on weight for the heavyweight, but he definitely didn't.
Yeah.
It was a lot in his tummy, that's for sure.
And is that
But
is that it for him now?
No, because
Like,
apparently he's still going to fight. They want a super match against who's that kickboxer who beats Adesanya all the time, the scary guy.
oh, gotcha. Yeah,
They
yeah. I
want
can't think of
him.
his name, but
I guess you like go down and wait to fight them for like a super fight of badasses
okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
And then some people want him to fight. I forget the up and comer, but he just want to fight that guy. He just wants to fight legends. He is
yeah.
38. I mean, Jesus, we're talking about I don't know LeBron lasting and Tom Brady lasting. Surely it's a lot harder to get shit kicked in a ring for. That's
You
got to
would
be the
think.
hardest sport.
You would think. Oh God,
One,
yeah. When you're telling me the Mannings got sacked 700 times, that's
yeah,
oh.
that's rough.
Uh,
Speaking of Bones Jones, back 10, 12, 13 years ago, we're in Vegas, and my little buddy, Canadian Brett, my best oldest friend,
yeah,
he's very short, very timid, doesn't drink alcohol, the quietest, nicest human being on earth. We're at a party. It's, we're in this like table area, nightclub Vegas, and he like backs up. He's like in the way of people because Brett's so really too nice. And he backs up and he steps on this guy's foot. And the guy kind of gives like a look at him. And I was like looking at Brett eye level. And then I like looked up. I was like, Brett, can you fucking not step on Bones Jones' foot, please? You're going to get us
oh
fucking
really?
killed. Yeah. Anyone else here, please? Anyone
Yeah,
else? You can step on anyone you want else.
quite literally anybody in Vegas currently.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Anyone else? What are you doing?
Wow.
Yeah, and he's literally
He
twice the
probably
size of
laughed,
Brett.
eh? He probably
Yeah, I
laughed.
mean,
Yeah.
it's so funny. I mean, you've been around these people too. Like being around a person like him or Calais, like they've
Yeah.
always been top of the food chain. It's like nothing
Like,
ever. You
yeah,
can't, but
nothing
like
ever
where you
has to be.
stepped on some little wiener in Vegas foot. It's like, hey man, come on, like I'll fight you. Whereas like these guys
Yeah.
are like, you obviously didn't mean to do that. Have a
Yes.
good day.
Clearly, I know you did not mean to do that.
Yeah.
There's no possible way you're that dumb.
No. So that's my Bone Jones story.
Love it.
But yeah. Our Saquon Barkley Varsity Blues held true. He can only get a touchdown if he breaks a 20-yarder.
God damn it. Did you see that one post? There's like 9 or 10 times he's got stopped at the one and then hasn't gotten the touchdown.
That's crazy.
What would his
Right on the
fantasy
one.
numbers be if that didn't happen?
He's already enormous. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah.
Except that I hate the Eagles. But.
Yeah, that's true. But that's pretty much all I've got. I mean, the loser, Anthony Richardson, looked good, but it's nice for us. Just he's sucking them back in again. I mean, they played. Yeah, so
he is.
That'll be good to see.
Yeah,
I like betting against him.
But or you know what though, like I touched on last week, it appears as though sitting down for a bit was actually good for Bryce Young. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it was a bit of a wake up call because it sounds like he wasn't working hard, right? He wasn't putting in the time. He tapped out of a game because he was tired.
Yeah. Like tap out was
maybe having to sit there and losing his job has kind of waking the guy up and making him actually work a little bit. Who knows? You hope for the kid. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I hope the Colts never win again. But
I mean, if sitting down can improve his completion percentage by 40%, then I think he's really going to have a good chance in the league.
Yeah, actually, it's sad that he could literally go up 40% and still kind of just be right where he should be.
Yeah, it'd be okay.
It's awesome.
I mean, that's all I got. I just want to crush on the Dolphins fans so then I can get my weekly poke at Mike in.
Absolutely.
But they think they have a chance. They beat the 2-8 Raiders at home, and they could have lost if it wasn't for broken coverage by said 2-8 Raiders to clinch the game.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna find them. They're still gonna be lingering.
Yeah, they have a shit schedule left too.
Do they?
So I mean they play the Jets twice, I think, and then a couple other, maybe Carolina they might have. I don't know. They have
the Patriots.
Yeah,
they must play Buffalo again too.
Mm-hmm. Just one game though, I think, right? Yeah, one. No, I think they played them twice. They got shit kicked both times. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. They did. So
yeah,
they don't be surprised if they're lingering a little bit late.
Yeah, the defense is solid, and obviously if they can beat bad teams, so
yeah, they've showed that the classic Finns.
Yeah,
don't beat anybody good.
I was gonna say, but the hedge week. So I had this idea as well. I was telling Blaze about it. Blaze doesn't like hedging. I do a little hedge here and there, depending.
Yeah, I don't like hedging.
But I feel like if you want to hedge, it's hedge week. I would say. Whereas you kind of see where everything's lingering. for example, I have Harbaugh as a coach of the year, so
Yeah.
asking Blaze. So I had him at 8-1, but right now he's 5-1. But Dan Campbell's plus 350. So do I toss $100 down on Dan Campbell as my
Yeah.
hedge, kind of thing, or $50 or 20, whatever it is? So I've been thinking about that, and then I've got
I think hedging's for pussies, but
yeah, you do.
have a little faith and conviction in the bet that you made.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
I
fair.
mean,
But if you
in
want to
that one
hedge,
though, I don't know. Like, I shouldn't say that because I think hedging in a game is different than what you're doing. Like, I think if you're just seeing good value, right,
yeah,
and you're still come out on the plus side, then I
yeah, I
guess
could see
that's all right.
hedging
But
for like to win 5% more. Then
yeah,
okay,
yeah, no,
but yeah, kind of a big
but
hedger. Like I got Lamar Jackson MVP at 16-1. So I mean, do I go Josh Allen? He right now he's 3-1. Do I just they're one of those two is going to win it, so I might as well be on the winning side.
that'll get your money back.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Has Dan Campbell won it yet?
I don't know. You've got a thought. Who won it last year?
It would have been
Sure.
last year if he did, but
Yeah.
because they were pretty average for that. If he hasn't won it, then like he's a
yeah,
lock
right.
this year.
Oh, Kevin Stefanski won last year.
Oh wow, yeah, Dan Campbell's going to win in the landslide this year.
Okay. All right, so Blaze is back in on future hedges. We're doing the hedge.
Fine, I'll give you that one. That
All
does
right.
make sense. I'm not calling it a hedge though. I just ignore your other bet. I just say you're not hedging
Yeah.
it. You're just picking now who you think's going to win.
Picking a good value.
Yeah, you're still going to make money.
All right. Nice. You got any winners, losers before we get into picks?
I think we got them all in. Like, yeah. Oh no, you know what? I do have another one, and you're going to love this because
Yes.
Tony Romo was talking to you during the broadcast. But there was like the most obvious face mask missed with like 5 minutes left, and Romo's line was like, this always happens. The only people who don't see it is Chiefs fans, but like we could have called that one from up here. And then, but the winner, I'm actually going to a ref who later in the game, when Mahomes had the ball and was driving on an important drive, made another one of his crazy plays and ended up getting a first down. And he actually called holding against the Chiefs, and it was a blatant hold, but he actually had the balls to call it late in the fourth quarter. I mean, the NFL's probably fired him now. But at that time, I'm like, nice job, man. Way to actually call what you see against a team that always holds and never gets called. So I
wish
that guy's a winner.
I wish we had like a ticker. Like I was good at editing one day. Well, I'll have it. It'll be like, let me remind you that Blaze is a Patriots fan, and this happened with Tom Brady for 15 years. And
Not
he
the
seems
same.
to forget.
Not the same. When Mahomes has a made up suspension, then we can say it's the same. Not even close. Not even close.
Well, interesting game. First game. What would you?
Pixies.
Yeah.
All right.
Somehow the Steelers are only 3.5 favorites over the Browns.
So this is awesome, and I know I've mentioned this a bunch this year, but some of these division matchups are fascinating, and I wish I had the time to go in and find all the trends. But even if you just look at that division, like Lamar is 1-4 or more against the Steelers in the last couple of years. Like he can't seem to beat them. And then you got Joe Burrow, who lights it up, and he can't beat the Ravens. He's like 0-8 against the Ravens, even though he puts up
Browns. Or the Browns on the road too.
Well, maybe that, but for sure the Ravens. Like look at that game last week. Like he does everything, and he's done it to them a bunch, and he can't beat them. So it's these division games that some of them, these matchups are just weird. So that like the Browns only being dogs by that much has to be one of those things where Pittsburgh just must not play well there. But there's no way you can't. I'm still taking Pittsburgh. Like it's. Although the Steelers maybe don't blow anybody out, but
like the Browns have traded away their best receiver, one of their better defensive players. So it's not like they're telling us that they're not trying to win.
They are, but and their best player now that's back is Chubb, but you're not going to run against the Steelers. So I don't know.
No,
it seems like that one's just fishy to me. That line's really fishy. I don't know what I'm going to do actually.
And now, does Kevin Stefanski call the plays? Is he like also the OC?
So. I think so.
So, because I have a Chubb, I had Chubb on my 2 or 3 I have him on almost every fantasy team. But I was like, this is a Chubb breakout game. Worst run defense in the league. He's been back a couple weeks, then he got a bye week to rest.
Yeah.
They ran him 11 times. I'm just like, and he was breaking runs, but like first down, no, they were throwing. Second down, it was just, what are you doing? Like I think they could have stayed in the game if they actually stuck to running him and
Right.
ran when they're supposed to. So Browns are trash.
I think they were just down so early. I think they got ambushed.
Yeah. Bucks Giants. I think I'm going to take the Bucks huge here. They're 5.5-point favorites.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tommy Cutlets,
DeVito.
though. Tommy Cutlets.
Can you? I don't know. I should have looked this up last year. Where did he go to school? I don't know one thing about Tom DeVito.
I just know him from like last year when it was a big thing that he was living in his parents' house still, and then they had all the paisans were tailgating before the game and having a good old time, and yeah, I have no idea where he went to school.
He went to Syracuse for 4 years, and then Illinois for his last year, and he's undrafted.
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, am I missing something? Like, does he have some sort of?
No.
Yeah, nothing. All right. So
yeah. And I love it. Like the Giants, hilarious. They've got Drew Lock, who they paid $5 million, and he can't even get on the field. And yet they let Saquon go over like a couple $1 million. Right? Like they're just a rudderless ship too. I love it.
Yeah, he's got to be gone. I wish we could bet on GM's gone because he's getting fired.
Yeah, him, the Jacksonville guy.
Yeah. I'm taking the Bucks -5.5. I think they'll run it down their throats too. But I want to know what in my other guillotine league where they only have 14 teams, so it's down to 3 of us left. And I've got both Malik Neighbors and Tyrone Tracy, and they're playing the Panthers, I think. No, they're playing the Bucks. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
But you can throw and run on the Bucks. I'm like, but Tommy DeVito quarterback.
Tommy DeVito probably throws it better than Daniel Jones does.
Yeah. But do I really want to go out in like basically a semifinal riding 2 Giants? Right. That's just where I'm at. Like, I'll just blame myself.
Backs? You must have a better option.
We've got studs, but just the matchup's nice.
I don't think you play him because you've got to think Bakesy lights them up and garbage time passing.
Yeah.
Is your hope there.
Mm-hmm. Next game, Lions-Colts. Lions 7.5-point favorites. Yeah. Ooh, tough one.
Nope, not tough. I'm taking the Lions no matter what the point spread is until we're proven wrong.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, I mean, if you think they're going to win, don't worry about the points because they don't. Right? Like, they don't ease off.
Yeah, I guess maybe we should just do our 17-point spread bet right now on the Lions to beat the Colts.
Wow.
Yeah, if they get ahead, they can't come back. I guess I was just thinking the Colts, like Jonathan Taylor, maybe they'll run the ball, play good defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they get down early, it's a wrap.
It's curtains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank God I made a last-second adjustment on my I put in David Montgomery in our guillotine league last second because I was like, wait, they're going to go up on the Jaguars in a New York minute and just run the ball down their throats. And sure enough. Thankfully I did that. Texans, Titans. Oh, but these are terrible games. I've got
it's a bad week, man.
11-point spread, a 10-point spread, a 7, an 8, a 7.5, 5.5.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Oh my God. Texans, Titans, 8. Is CJ Stroud back? I felt like he hasn't really played good for 4 or 5.
I don't know what's going on there. Like, I think he is, but they running the ball successfully last night, so he kind of really just did what he had to do. Unfortunately for Blaze, cost me a fantasy game.
Yeah. So I mean, Will Levis, I'm never gonna believe in him, so I guess I'm taking Texans 8 points. Just a lot of points.
Points though. And again, a division game. I don't know. I think
I guess you got Mixie Cakes running down your throat.
Yeah, and their pass rush is going to be all over Tennessee.
Patriots, Dolphins.
Oh,
ooh!
I will take those Patriots, right? Points. Thank you very much.
What's the Patriots against the spread this year?
Got to be decent,
right? Because I feel like I've taken them every week, pretty much.
Oh, they didn't cover last week. They should have. They just had like so many boneheaded moves, and they were driving to tie the game, and then their useless second-round draft pick goes offside on a 4th down play that was set up. He pisses me off. I've never seen a team so cursed at one position. Like they cannot draft wide receivers.
No.
Just they cut the 3rd round pick from 3 years ago, and then now their second
Yeah.
round pick last year sucks. Their 4th round pick, it was a receiver, can't even get on the field. Oh, he had a nice kick return on Sunday. I shouldn't say that, but he can't get on the field. They've had so many failures. We drafted N'Keal Harry over AJ
Justin
Brown,
Jefferson,
DK
right? Oh, okay.
Metcalf, no, Terry McLaurin, Tyreek Hill. It was quite a list.
Yeah,
Who's who?
that's quite the list.
And then now this year, like we traded out of the spot where we could have got the dude from San Diego that's lighting it up.
Yeah, lad.
Yeah, Lad McConkey, and they literally traded with them, and then we picked up this Polk kid who I was hoping he's from UW, but hoping he's going to turn into something, but he looks like shit so far.
Yeah. Booty looks all right. I don't know how you say his name.
Yeah, I like Booty.
Yeah.
Had a bad drop on the weekend, but like he's one of the few guys that actually, goes up after some contested balls and catches the ball in traffic. I like him.
Yeah, I feel like you can't go wrong with a LSU wide receiver. I feel like that
seems like it, right? Yeah.
Might as well swing for the fences on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm taking those points for sure.
I will say I was completely wrong. The Patriots are 3-5-1 against the spread. So, yeah.
And the other thing, if I'm going to vent about my team for a second, like if you were going into a game against the Rams, right, and you're looking at their offense, would the first 2 people that you would circle not be Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Like, can we pay attention to one of them? They both went over 100 yards.
You got to take one out.
And had touchdowns. Sure. Like, and Christian Gonzalez never really covered either one of them. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Not good.
Just at least get rid of one of them and then take your chances on that the other one doesn't torch you. But to let them both get 100, and it's the second time this year we've done it. It happened against the Seahawks too, when Njigba and DK both went over 100 yards. I'm like, how the you don't know who these guys are? Somebody watching? Is anyone watching film on the Rams? Good. We sit on our couch and don't spend all this time watching film and can tell you.
Yeah.
You got to take away either Kupp or Nacua. One of them, please.
It's your job.
Yeah.
I wonder if it doesn't work. I wonder if it does or doesn't work anymore. But Bill Belichick's old thing of just taking away their best player, like that's all he cared about. Not all, but that was a big thing. Was just all right. He's not catching anything or running.
Yeah,
we'll worry about the rest. But I don't know if you spread the field too much nowadays. It's not as easy to do. But
I think it would be worth a shot. Better than letting them both go off for over 102 touches. Like
much better. Much better than that.
Unreal. It was infuriating.
The Cowboys Commanders terrible game of the week. It might not actually be. It's not the worst game of the week.
It's a long list of terrible games.
Yeah. Commanders, Cowboys, 10-point favorite Commanders. Yeah, I mean, until the Cowboys show they're not trash. Can you start CeeDee Lamb with who's throwing the ball? He did all right last game.
Yeah, he did okay. Didn't get in the end zone, but he looked good. He looked like he was trying to get after it at least.
Because we're not to bring up our guillotine league again now, but he's up for grabs. And I'm like, do you spend money on him? Because like, who's throwing him the ball?
No, not gonna spend money on him, but
you are. I'm not falling for that trick. Oh,
I don't have any money to spend.
Yeah, that's true.
I've got like $18, so I'm not a threat. Believe me. I'm rolling with what I got, or picking up just. I kind of don't mind where I am though, because there's going to be some good guys that are cheap, or free.
Or free. That's the one nice thing about having a newborn is that I'm awake at 2 a.m. when like after all the waivers go through. So I'm picking up guys.
This guy is
sweet. We'll do before these picks are so bad. Let's get into a quick newborn segment. I've got weekly baby update. I just wrote down some notes, but they're basically like Tasmanian devils. Like they just when they want to eat, just for tits. Like they make all these noises like to get fed. He sounds like a little pug and like a Tasmanian devil, like mixed together. He's like, it's scary. It's like fucking a zombie. It's like Walking Dead, except for
but why does that affect you? You don't need to be there for that.
I mean, I'm next to her. Like, it's just scary. He's making all these noises. Like, he's gonna change you into a fucking werewolf when he's just trying to suck on some boobs. He's insane. And he just like
let's be honest, you were no different when you were like 17. First time you saw boobs, you probably made those same sounds. You were living on my couch on Morrison Avenue in Kelowna. You come home from work at the dock bar at the Eldorado and just like frothing over boobs. So like, come on, let's not be faulting this kid right now.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I
It
guess.
sure doesn't. Sure doesn't. For sure, you would have made similar sounds the first time you saw a top come off.
Yeah. So I wonder if this is all newborns or my child's just a little psychopath.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be
So,
to be seen.
to be seen, but yeah, he's crazy. But aside from that, he's not a little terror looking to get fed. He's pretty good.
All right. How's things with the grandparents down there?
Good. I mean, they it just came up. They're going to come up for dinner today, so
Yeah.
they're obsessed with them, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good.
And have they met the other grandparents?
No, we got to figure out a dinner. But so everyone knows, my Jess's parents are French, and then
Yeah.
my parents are English. So they speak English, but it's also it's
They
not
don't speak
as
a lot.
easy.
Okay.
The mom does, dad doesn't as much, and he's very quiet. My dad's very quiet.
Yeah.
So dinner just doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
We mentioned this last week. This is perfect. Put the two dads on a fishing boat. Out you go. They don't need to talk to each other. They'll both just be quite happy. Ricky will just be fishing away, reeling stuff in. Yeah, that sounds perfect for him, actually.
I guess so. Yeah, this would be a quiet dinner.
Yeah.
No speaking. But into the game of the week, top two. Oh, top three. There's actually four. There's shit games or there's really good games. I didn't realize. But Vikings Bears, Vikings 3.5 point favorites.
Oh yeah, that will be a good one.
Mm.
Same thing, right? Division at home. Bears are going to play it tough. I think they'll keep that one close.
Yeah, the Vikings have not been playing lights out the last few games. So
no. And hey, by the way, Vikings, can we please, for the sake of my guillotine league, get Justin Jefferson the goddamn football?
Yeah,
he's the best receiver in the league. Although now it's looking like Chase is passing him because he actually gets thrown to. I mean, he hits targets, but he doesn't add up. Nothing adds up.
It was like your point when Ray McLeod was making catches for Atlanta.
Yes.
It's like all of a sudden we've got everyone else. Jordan Addison's running for 80-yard touchdowns.
Yes.
I was just like watching because I had a few screens on. JJ goes up one-hander, 1 foot in, immaculate catch. And oh my God, 60 yards. It's out of bounds, and it's Jordan Addison. I'm like, why the fuck are we throwing to Jordan Addison to make this catch? This is Justin Jefferson all day.
But at least Addison was like a top pick too. He's good. It's not like he's not. Sorry, Ray, again to bring you into this, but like it's not that. But yeah, like just throw him the ball. Like he'll catch it, and he will catch it if there's other people there. It doesn't matter. Throw him the goddamn football.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, hey, they're 8-2, so like we're worried about our fantasy teams, and they're worried about winning games.
Exactly. They might be a little bit a touch on the fraud watch, like a high end fraud watch. Like because they're barely beating Tennessee. They're just squeaking by lately. But they can run the ball. They've got all the tools. They've still got the number one defense in the league right now. But no.
Somehow, which seems weird because the corners don't seem that good to me. I mean, Gilmore is okay, but he's getting up there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, they haven't really blown away everyone, so I think it could be a 3-point game. So I may take the Bears and Vikings still win, but close one.
Win a close one.
Yeah. Chiefs Panthers, just a trash game.
Jesus. I mean, that's so many points.
What? I was thinking the opposite. I think we got to do our 20-pointer. Although the Chiefs haven't covered a game this year.
But the Chiefs don't do that. They don't crush teams.
No.
If
Pacheco might be back.
Yeah, if you think they're going to crush him, then you're factoring like a pick six or something like that, too, right? Because Andy he's quite content just marching the ball down the field if he knows you can't stop him, and just like Andy Reid is so good, he just knows what it takes to win the game. He doesn't, like some of these other coaches that are just play callers, like Mick Fraud down in Miami. He just calls plays. To just look cool and score points. Like if you're Andy, he calls plays to win the football game.
And this is a bit of just mostly hatred on Joe Burrow, only because I'm Team Mahomes and you're Mahomes versus Joe Burrow. So obviously I'm Team Mahomes. But Joe Burrow now, his record is 33-28. And obviously we've seen he's balled out the past 4 games, but he still loses. Yeah. But to that point, is it like, well, don't just throw for 400 yards. Have you thought about controlling the clock and, like more short yardage? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what Andy Reid's doing, kind of
You
control
can,
the
but I think
ball.
the difference is the Bengals. It's their defense is
Yeah,
just
the
so
defense is
bad.
terrible. Yeah,
They're just so bad. So they have to just try and outscore everybody.
air
So
it
I think
out.
they
Yeah,
got to play that way.
yeah. I wonder, is there a trap game here for the Broncos against the Raiders? The Raiders are trash. The line's only
They
five and a
are.
half for the Broncos.
The Raiders obviously love nothing more than to take them down, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's a lot of points.
Hmm.
That's a lot of points.
I may go for the Raiders just
Look at you. All
a
right.
random win. Just like one of those in division weird games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something I meant to have down. A little segment we can call "Who Wants the Hell Off Their Team the Most." Who would you rank? I think I've got Max Crosby as number one. Like, who
Hey, I
else
don't
is
want to
on
hear
this
from Max
list?
Crosby. No, 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 no. He was the
No.
one who wanted them to hire Antonio Pierce. He
Oh
went
yeah,
to
that's true.
told the owner to hire him, so he doesn't
Yeah,
get to go anywhere. You
yeah.
asked for it, you can stay there.
Who else is on like a team that you feel bad for? It's like just get them on a different team so they can play well.
Um, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Like
like
who
who
else
else is?
is
I should have thought
totally
about
trash?
this. I would
Um,
have felt bad for Buda Baker, but the Cardinals are playing well. But Buda Baker would be on my list.
yeah. Miles Garrett.
Oh yeah, Miles Garrett. It's a good one.
Yeah. You know who would be a good one because I think he's top 3 defensive players in the league is sexy Dexy Lawrence from the
Oh yeah,
Giants. Right? Like
yeah,
he must be sitting there going, I am dominating every rep and it doesn't matter
yeah.
at all.
What other teams are trash? Is there anyone on the Titans that should be allowed to leave? You should get like an exemption, like a tax
Yeah, you know
tax
what?
exemption. You're just allowed to leave.
Jeffrey Simmons, but
Yeah.
the best one, the best candidate, but no, he has to stay because he was offered to play elsewhere and he wanted to go to Tennessee because of the state tax and his girlfriend is Calvin
Oh,
Ridley.
Calvin
You could have got
Ridley. Yeah.
money elsewhere and you chose not to, so you're stuck there as well. You can suck
Yeah.
on it
That's
in
sure
obscurity.
can. Yeah. Is there one on the Panthers? I feel like they've just given away
No,
anyone who wanted
yeah, they
out.
suck. There's nobody. They have nobody
No.
good. The best player's hurt.
Anyone on Jacksonville? Maybe the other Josh Allen.
Yeah, yeah, he's solid.
Yeah. And
Maybe Brian Thomas Jr. already. He's like, oh
yeah.
man, I'm going to be so good, and this team sucks.
Yeah.
He still managed to get like 90 yards on the weekend somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kid's
It'll
really
be
good.
interesting looking back at this wide receiver class.
Yeah,
Marvin Harrison is still somehow like doing all right stats wise, even though I think he's been trash, but he's doing
no,
okay.
he's turned it on. I think
Mm.
he's going to be a real problem. That's a good
Mm.
game actually. There's this weekend.
Yeah.
I just saw that one. That's a really good game.
Cardinals Seahawks. Seahawks -1.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
the 12s will be coming out for that.
the next every afternoon game, the Broncos Raiders won, but any game starting afternoon until Monday is great. I mean, we've got
Yeah,
Niners, Packers,
that
Eagles,
is nice.
Rams, Ravens, Chargers. So,
So this is a
you're
perfect
gonna,
setup for Blaiso, right? Because
yeah.
the 10 o'clock game, I just watched the Patriots, and
Mm-hmm.
then I don't really care literally about it. The only other than fantasy stuff, I don't care about any of the other games. And then I get
And the
good football
podcast.
the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to pay attention, but like but yeah, you're right. That is a good setup. All the afternoon games are all going to be worth watching,
Mm-hmm.
and that night game is hopefully the Rams can keep it close.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would have thought the Eagles would be favored more, but yeah, they're
Mhm.
giving them good. It's only 3 points.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I guess I would
And
go
then
the
Monday's a
Eagles.
beauty of a game. Harbaugh
Yeah,
Bowl.
except I know you're. I'm tired of it, so I'm sure you are because you don't like the Harbaughs of just seeing the dad.
I don't mind
Nobody's
Jim.
got it. Nobody's got it better than us. We're just gonna hear
Yeah.
that shit for. I'm not watching a pregame show because I'm just don't want to hear more Harbaugh.
I don't mind Jim. I mean, now
Okay.
that he's not at Michigan anymore, I don't mind Jim.
Okay, all right.
And you know how I feel about Herbert. He's
Yeah.
like my favorite player in the league to watch, probably besides Drake May. He's
Ooh, interesting.
unbelievable at football.
Yeah. Oh, I guess up until last year, Herbert would have been a candidate for tax exempt, leave the team, but now he's
Yeah.
he's in a great
Yeah,
spot.
now he's loving it and he's crushing it. The guy is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this a must win for the Niners in Green Bay?
Has to be, right? Well, maybe not because they're all 5-5 aside from the Cardinals.
Yeah, but they're 0-3 in the division.
Yeah. Oh,
They've
but
lost-
then the Seahawks are playing the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks beat the Cardinals, which they're favored to do, but barely. But then we're talking. No, I don't think it's a. I mean,
No.
it'd be great to win, but
I think we want the Seahawks to win that then, right? Like they'd be six
Mm-hmm.
and five, Cardinals be 6 and 5. If the Niners win, they're 6 and 5,
Yeah,
and we're the Rams,
the Rams
and the
will
Rams can be sick.
five
Come
five.
on, give us the chaos. Give us
Yeah,
all four of them at 6 and 5. We love
it's gonna
chaos.
it's gonna be great games. Let's see who's on their schedule. Do they all play each other a bunch?
Yeah, that's how it usually
Not.
works in the divisions.
Yeah, the Rams only play the 49ers and Cardinals one more time each. So not. I was like hoping they'd be like NFC North. I feel like where they all play each other twice to end the season,
Still coming up, yeah.
but it's not as chaotic in the NFC West.
Okay, so that's what we need to call this. We need our 6 and 5 chaos. We want like
Yeah.
all four teams can be 6 and 5 after this Sunday. This needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and then the Seahawks have the Cardinals, Rams. Oh, that's it. Only two. Weird.
Yeah,
It's odd that they only play each other twice.
and we're going to the game on the 15th. Are you looking at the Seahawks
Oh
schedule?
no. Oh yeah. I'm not, but I was.
Seahawks
Who?
Packers.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Yeah. So
Stace going?
yeah. Well,
Oh, that's the one
allegedly.
they were talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he actually shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be good. Who do you have in the Harbaugh Bowl? Ravens, Chargers. Ooh, I think
Amazing.
I'm going to take the points with the Chargers because they're 3-point underdogs.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes sense. That's gonna be a great game. Literally two of the top four quarterbacks in football right there
Mm-hmm.
playing head to head. I love it.
And who do you got? Eagles, Rams. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles. Packers. Oh, who do you have? 49ers, Packers.
If Bosa doesn't play, Packers.
Okay.
I mean, I just don't think they can get a whole lot of pressure without him. Well, they blitzed Geno Smith one time all game, and
Mm-hmm.
and then that last drive he marched down. Not only did he march down, but he ran on him.
Yeah.
So, oh, doggy's barking. Hey,
Yeah. Kiwi's going nuts with something in the backyard. Yeah, I mean, I like Geno Smith. He's given the night. It's like, all right, Geno Smith, relax.
Yeah.
you guys are 5-5. Let's not get ahead of our skis here. You're not Steph Curry. Hold on.
No kidding. No kidding. Good for him though.
Right.
Geno battles. I like Geno.
Yeah. Well, he's got to have some crazy, right? He's got a ton of fourth quarter comebacks. Like,
Yeah,
he has to have the record for the most obscure player to have a ton of fourth quarter comebacks.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And he's available on my fantasy bench. People out there in my
Anyone
league
looking to make a trade.
yeah.
Actually, I just got offered a trade today. I got offered a trade that included him.
Oh,
Yeah. I said
yeah.
no.
I mean, he's top 10 in the league fantasy quarterback. So, and their division, lots of games against weak defenses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, all right. You got anything else to circle around on, or
No, I think I'm ready for the week here. This is nice.
Yeah.
This is a good week. It's a good pod. Hopefully we'll get back to some. Actually, let's pull that up. Is there good college games this week? Indiana,
Ooh.
Ohio State. I know that you're not
very
fond of that,
excited for it.
but that's a big one.
Yeah, no, I'm very fond of it because I'll be right next to my phone, ready to light.
Right next to my phone, just an absolute deviant, just looking to chirp people. Just such a bad guy. Oh, Army Notre Dame. That's huge, actually.
Uh-huh. Oh my God, the lines jumped up. It was 11.5 yesterday. It's 13.5 now.
Yeah, I'm seeing 14. Ole Miss, Florida, Indiana, Ohio State. No, yeah, Georgia. Way to go get it. UMass. Well done. Tennessee's. This is the time of year where these the SEC teams go and just play trash.
Well, I told you it worked
Get outta
before. It might not work anymore. So me and Blaze have always argued this, but I said it was a smart business decision because if you're an SEC team,
Yeah,
let's say you're Alabama, you're already secured. You're through. Why schedule a hard game against, I don't know, let's say a Colorado or a Missouri or like a half decent team that you could lose when you're already going to the championship game? Rest your players, beat the shit out of. But now, yeah, I mean, it's weak.
Yeah.
It's just, but now you can't do that. I don't think, right? Like,
no.
if Alabama was in that position of like 12th or 13th and they had this game, like if they were Ole Miss or
Alabama played Furman, was
Mercer?
it?
Yeah.
Mercer, yeah. This week they play Oklahoma. Actually, so there's no, other than that Ohio State one, there's no heavyweight tilts, but there's some good conference stuff, right? Tennessee plays Kentucky, Colorado, Kansas. That'll be a battle.
I thought I saw a good one in there. I just lost it. There wasn't a good one. Can we get rid of BYU, please, being ranked? Are they still ranked sixth, or is it not updated yet?
No, they'd be way down. A&M
Oh
plays
man,
Auburn. LSU's cooked. Doesn't matter about
on
them. See you later, Tigers.
on my app it says ASU ranks or BYU ranks. Okay, good. They're not. All right, they're 14th. I was gonna say because
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, you
that's
know
a
what
terrible
though?
game. Hmm.
What is that spread that I just saw? Arizona State's favorite over BYU. I love
That's
it.
what I was saying. I was like, how are they anywhere?
Yeah,
This is terrible.
Arizona State's going to beat them too. Our boy Scatabo. They love
Oh
their
yeah,
running back. He's just a big lug. He's awesome.
yeah. We can't have
So
BYU anywhere near the rankings anymore.
not a bad, not a bad slate of college football. But guess what happens on Friday?
What?
Ski Hill opens.
Ooh,
Blaiso
nice.
says bye bye to Kelowna for a few months.
Yeah,
So excited.
which is typical. Summer gone for a few months. He's
Okay,
really
you don't start. You don't get to start.
he's typically only in town for a few weeks. So
Yeah, now that you have a kid, this is the longest you've ever sat still for 17 years.
uh, but is week so it goes is week 15. So we got week 13 colleges this week. Week
Yeah.
14 is next week, obviously. So then the week after that is the conference games.
I think like December 7th, because I was hoping it was going to be when we were in Seattle, but it's not. It's the weekend before is all the conference games. So
Yeah. All right.
I'm pretty sure it's like the 6, 7, 8 somewhere in there. That'll be all the conference title games.
Will you put? Oh shoot! I mean, I guess this is a good thing. I was gonna say, will you put Army in the playoff? But now I guess this is great. Is it this week or next week? In a couple weeks, Notre Dame, Army.
This week.
That one's that's do or die. Then. Oh, you said that? I must have been
Yeah.
looking at scores. So that's
Yeah.
do or die, right? Whoever loses is out. Surely.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And
Okay.
Notre Dame has to play USC next week too, who's ranked. So, it's in their own hands. If they win out, they're in for sure. But if they lose either one, they're cooked because they got that ugly loss, right? Even though they only have 2 losses, one of them was to Northern Illinois, so they're pooched. But if Army wins out, right, like they're going to be, they could get that spot as the top, group of 5 or whatever, or the top conference champion from the American Conference or whatever they are. They'd have to just be ranked ahead of Boise State. So if they went out and Boise loses, there's a chance that they can get into the playoffs.
Yeah. It's going to be chaos if they win outright and Boise State just has their one loss.
Yeah.
That's going to be some stuff.
But
Let's
it's not
pray
going to
for
happen
that.
because the Irish are going to pump them this weekend.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, Fraser LeVay podcast with Blaiso, faneverland.com. I'll talk to you guys next week.
We're out.